Oh, Foxy, it's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our July edition of Moana Nui After Dark Presents Geek Speak on Sports. I'm your host, James. We're going to have a wonderful show tonight, talking about some lighthearted and some serious topics. I'm going to bring in the rest of my panel, starting with Joy and Furious. How are you all doing this evening?
Doing well. How about yourself?
It was Wednesday. It's my day off, and while I was supposed to go bowling, I didn't.
So what did you do all day?
We're not going to talk about that. I took care of myself, and
if I had remembered that it was your day off, I was at home most of the day. Man, we could have knocked out some Destiny. I wasn't even
could have. I sent out a bunch of reels till about noon. Then I got out of bed and was productive. But I also talked to my therapist, and she said, I'm heading in the right direction as far as, taking care of stuff with my own mental health and everything. So
that's good. Good.
I'm going to breathe in this positivity because I want to get some nonsense out the way first. Topic that we're going to discuss. Project 2025 and sports. The reason I'm bringing this up is one, look, if you are not registered to vote, if you don't think your vote matters, if you think that this coming November you're just not going to vote at all, you're making a horrible decision. You need to vote, and not just for the Oval Office. You need to vote for everything on the ballot because your local and state legislation matters.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I bring this up is because if you have not read over Project 2025, you should probably go online and look at it. They're not shy as far as what this is and what they're trying to do. How does that impact sports? You will see a lot of leagues and sports entities decide to not play neutral site games or host events in states that pass these agendas.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that before. Going all the way back to 1993, the NFL moved the Super Bowl out of Arizona because they refused to celebrate the King holiday. In 2017, the NBA moved their All-Star game from Charlotte, North Carolina to New Orleans, Louisiana, because of a bill on the ballot designated the bathroom bill that dealt with gender discrimination.
You said that was 2003?
2017.
2017.
Mm-hmm. And consequently, not only did they lose the All-Star game, the NCAA pulled, I think, 7 championships and first round tournament games. And then just recently in 2021, Major League Baseball moved their All-Star game from Atlanta to Denver because of a bill that suppressed voter rights and registration. So go ahead, Joy.
I hear you talking. And I have to wonder, and this is based on the things that I see on a day-to-day basis.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Your supposition is based on the idea that all the people that pulled those games were doing it because they truly felt it was the right thing to do for their franchise, for their employees, for their teammates, etc. And some of that may have been true in 2021 and before. You're dealing with a new reality where they might say, y'all little darkies can do what you want, but we gonna be in this, anti-abortion state with no genderless bathrooms because we can. And this is what I think is the real threat of Project 2025. It's not that things have been moved around like that. It's that they won't care anymore. They saying the quiet part out loud with their whole chest right now. You will see lack of recruiting. You will lose any people of color in any front office anywhere. They will be fired for cause. You just weren't holding it up. Who said I wasn't holding it up? I did. Get out. you're going to see that, because remember, a lot of those owners got forced into doing it. That's why the Rooney Rule is what it is right now. They got forced into doing this in the first place. They're going to be like, we ain't got to do this no more. Let's go back to not doing dunks. Let's go back to, things that make other like non-melanated people look better in sports. Let's just win the Olympics. All of it could happen. They could try to relegate us back to another Negro league, but we just got the stats added to everything else.
We did.
And don't let anybody say, well, I'm going to sue and take you to the Supreme Court.
What Supreme Court?
It's not going to matter. 6-3 on everything.
Yeah. Even though AOC is trying to bring impeachment against Alito and Clarence Thomas, it's not going to work. Nobody's going to follow her down that road, but it's a good try.
Expansion is probably the only thing that's going to save it, but
domain expansion is what we need at this point. Just bring everybody into what is this, the swamp of peace? That we don't know what domain extension is. We're doing our other nerd stuff.
What we really need is the divided US of A based on the season 2 of Lovecraft Country that we didn't get. That's what we need. That's what we need.
I'm gonna find that map if I can.
A certain population of this country would lose their ish and drop dead if that happened.
Okay, I mean,
oh man,
I love that.
And on top of that,
Lovecraft Country season 2 images, it immediately came up.
Yep.
Let me see if I can get this big enough for y'all to see it.
And on top of that, Marcus Garvey was right.
This is what the United States would look like in Lovecraft Country season 2. Like all the black is black people. Mm-hmm. All the green is Native Americans. And I think the white is white people. And then I forget what the yellow is. Let me see if it's on this under here. Jefferson Commonwealth. Yeah. Which I guess is like neutral ground. The green would be the tribal nations to the west, but white was called the White Lands, and the black was called New Negro Republic. Incidentally, if you do need something to cheer you up, pick up Clara Bell's audiobook. Only do the audiobook version of New Nigeria County. If you follow this lady on Instagram and TikTok, she does those things where she like reverses it, like what if white people were the cultural minority? And she does things like, oh, Magnet, what's your name? Margin, whatever. Your hair is so yellow and flat. Like, can't you do something to make that look more professional? Like maybe get a perm and dye it brown. Like the book starts off with some black Karen. Matter of fact, they call her Corinne. Calls the cops. She calls the cops on the little white boy next door because he has on gang attire. It's cargo shorts. Because the cargo shorts are what the Live, Laugh, Love gang be wearing out in the outer city. And now he has come into their neighborhood with these gang shorts on, and she called the cops. That's how it starts. So please, pick, do it. It's a quick pick me up. The whole book only takes like 4 hours to listen to. Listen to it. It's great. And get it one more. She did an excellent thing. So what?
I follow her on TikTok, and her feed is one of the best things I've ever seen.
She has given me moments of sanity and happiness on at least a weekly basis. Yes. She also flips the genders. She says, oh, look at you. So cute, being a little boy boss. That's nice. Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful. It's great.
I think it's great that men are having jobs now. I love it. I love it. But yeah, Project 2025 is a mess. And if you don't know what it is, I'm not going to try to explain all of it. It's 900 pages. You don't have to read all of it. There's several summaries, multiple summaries and articles written about this. And hats off to Taraji P. Henson for bringing the Black people into the discussion, because they were sitting out there being oblivious. And she was on the BET Awards like, y'all need to read this. And all of a sudden, it's like the most trending Google search. Hats off to her for using that platform to do that. But it is an either or. If Trump gets in office, he has tried to say, well, I don't know if I would do that. You ain't never been in charge when you were in office. You was just a puppet for what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
They need you in there because he will sign whatever they put in front of him because they give him a shiny pen, right? At least Biden will wake up and say, what is this? I don't like this, and veto it. That's all I need for him to do, you know?
Yeah. I told somebody the other day, I was like, I would vote for a trained monkey before I vote for Donald Trump.
I would vote for Pootie Tang, who I hate, before I voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I'd vote for the very first box of Twinkies ever created.
Damn.
Damn.
Sat outside in the trunk of a car for 2 years. Yes. I would vote for, botulism. Oh, yes. There's a song that I use a lot in my mind. If y'all remember Weird Al Yankovic from the 80s, 90s.
Of course, I remember.
Yeah.
I have 3 of his CDs.
So you remember the song Spend One More Minute With You?
Vaguely.
It's a parody of an Elvis song, but it ends with, I'd rather rip my heart right out of my rib cage with my bare hands and then throw it on the floor and stomp on it till I die. And spend one more minute with you. I think about that all the time when I'm at work and when I'm doing anything. But right now, I'd rather rip my heart out of my rib cage with my bare hands and throw it on the floor and stomp on it till I die than vote anything other than Democrat right now. Like, I don't say I ride with the Democrats all the time. I have voted for several independents in local elections and underdogs and folks that I thought would do a good job regardless of their party affiliation if they even had one. But right now, on this day, yeah. And I just saw like this black guy on The Daily Show interview 6 black people.
I saw that.
And and of the 6, half of them could not be swayed away from voting for Trump.
What I don't want to say cracked me up because I don't think it's funny, but to me, what was really sad about that was the very first guy that he asked. That guy said, "Please don't make me say his name."
Right.
I'm voting for Trump. If your response is, "Please don't make me say his name,"
why are you voting for him?
That part.
And what their misunderstanding is the same misunderstanding I see in a lot of what I would consider misinformed, because they've done their research. Their research is flawed. Misinformed people on what he's really proposing and what kind of danger he harbors towards our community. And they listen to him say outrageous stuff, but it's more than him being racist towards black people. He is destroying the legal system of our country.
The structure.
It's more than racism. It's more than him being a womanizer. All these things are reasons he should have never been elected in the first place. But once he becomes a party candidate, look at what he's trying to do. And this 2025 thing is real serious. And I was upset with the guy that was showing him all these clips of him saying black people were the blacks, but don't nobody care. Show them Project 2025, then see if they would still vote for him. But that's not getting. It's almost too little, too late because it's already July. And so, the Democrats are going back and forth trying to appease. They're trying to please everybody, which means they're not pleasing anybody.
Anybody at all.
The idea of, well, maybe we can replace Biden. If you could, you would have done that.
Done it already, right?
Yeah,
that would have been done last year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if any of that goes through, I mean, look, stuff is normally set out years in advance for sports leagues as far as where events are hosted, played, whatever like that. Let's not get it twisted. They will move stuff and not care.
Why would they move it?
They on the public facing, they will say they're moving it because the laws that are now in place are unjust. For the NFL, let's put it this way, for the NFL and the NBA, because you're talking about 2 leagues that are basically 60 to 75% African-American in both of them. Currently, right. And the top X number percentage players you want to talk about are African-American. These are people with strong sway as far as to galvanize the players union one way or the other. If they put their foot down and be like, this is some BS, ain't no way, I'm I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, whatever, like, or play in this city or play a game here or do that. You thought load management was a problem before. And again, players sat out last season and missed out on awards and didn't care because the team still made the playoffs in the NBA. Imagine a player just basically just saying, screw it, I'm only playing home games. You know, and we'll take the hit or the fine, whatever it may be. Could be perfectly healthy. It's like, I'm not playing in Texas because of that BS. So
I mean, depending on how things go, it's possible they could be like, I'm not playing in Texas because it's not safe for me to go there.
Go there, right.
You know?
And there are 3 NBA teams in Texas.
And a lot of these younger players are, not that the older players aren't, but the younger ones clearly show that they're a little bit more social conscious. Now, are they doing it for show, or are they doing it because they actually believe it?
A little bit of both.
Know. But yeah, probably a little bit of both, but they actually look like they care more than some of the older players. And I think that will also be a factor.
That's very true.
The younger players also have no problem speaking their mind, regardless of consequences. The consequences be damned. That this is some BS, and I'm gonna say something about it. Yeah. And they don't care about the consequences. If it costs them an endorsement, if it costs them a fine, they don't care. They'll say it and stand on it because they feel the need.
Especially the ones that are on, especially the ones, even if you look at the ones that are on rookie contracts, even once if they hit year number 3 or 4 on that contract, they've got enough money that for them to sit out. I mean, obviously it's going to hurt because that's a check you're not going to get, but it's not like they're going to get kicked out of their home because they can't pay the mortgage.
Right. But yeah, I can see all the leagues moving all-star games. The NCAA moving champ. Look, they've done it before. They'll do it again. Moving first round.
I was a little surprised that baseball moved their game, to be honest. But I got to looking at a lot of the teams one day, and even though there aren't, when you look at people of color versus their white counterparts, the thing I had to remember is when you look at a lot of these players who look like they're Black, a lot of them aren't Black Americans. They're just, of the diaspora.
They're just brown. Yeah.
Right. They're Cuban, Dominican, Venezuelan, Puerto Rican. Yeah. So
and they think about the things that are going on in some of their home countries as well as what's going on here, and that carries weight with them.
It does. Because I think last I checked, African Americans in the major leagues is probably like 8% of all Major League Baseball players.
But you let some uninformed white person tell you half the league is Black. No, half the league is melanated. But only 8% of them are African American.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well,
y'all can keep Sammy Sosa though. Like we don't want that.
They love Sammy.
And Sammy loves them.
Ooh, poor misguided Sammy. Go look up Sammy Sosa, by the way, if you haven't seen him in a couple of years.
Google Sammy Sosa through the years and see what you get. And report back here, people.
Right. Let's move on to some lighthearted stuff. Anybody got anything regarding the NFL?
I would love to see my Falcons win a Super Bowl since the Super Bowl is being held in New Orleans. I'm just saying, I'd love to see it happen.
All I heard was you say, I don't want peace. I want violence.
And per a conversation James and I had before we started recording, I choose violence a lot.
Yeah. I'm in my violence era myself. Mine is mostly verbal, but you're gonna get this work. That's what I've been on recently.
I mean, we're all in our violence era right now. Yeah. it's how we choose to manifest said violence.
Yeah. You know, James, you mentioned that your therapist was saying you're going in the right direction. My therapist was like, "You mad? I'm really mad." She told me I was depressed. I'm like, but I smile and be happy all the time. She goes, another version of depression is uncontrollable rage. I was like, oh, that's what that is. when I look at somebody and I visualize myself choking them, that is probably what that is. I thought about beating somebody with a bat because there was a song that said beat that bitch with a bat. And I thought about it.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I just beat that bitch with a bottle.
Yup. But I reached that level of anger with like, you know what? Just I'm gonna be over here hiding in my house.
I've been there. I've been there.
All right, so nothing on NFL other than Furious hoping his Falcons win the Super Bowl.
I kind of want to see that myself. I would go to that game in New Orleans. I would go.
Oh my God!
And just sit back. What?
That if they went to the Super Bowl, forget the game. Just going to New Orleans for the week to watch the locals deal with Falcon fans would be better than the Super Bowl itself.
Just make sure you come with your own like first aid kit and hand sanitizer because it's going to be a mess.
I mean, because there are already enough fights at now. I've never been. There are already enough fights in the stadium now when the Saints come to town. Mm-hmm. Imagine Atlanta in the Super Bowl and all the fans down there.
Hey, Qiana, what the fuck is? I'm sorry. What is going on? I'm so sorry. Oh God, I'm gonna get kicked out.
No, you're not. It's after
what
dark.
Incarnation is happening now?
We're choosing violence. We are choosing violence.
Yes, we're choosing violence.
Specifically, that where is he? That dude right there.
Me,
him. He's choosing violence.
I'm spectating violence.
Yep.
We were just finishing up with the NFL. We were talking about what you want to see, and he's like, just because the Super Bowl is being held in New Orleans, I want the Falcons to go to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I mean, we've talked about, hope is a dangerous thing.
It is.
Listen.
Especially when you ain't got nothing to lose.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to yourself?
Wait.
How you come in the show? The best of luck. I know my teammate shit, but I'm just saying, I wish everybody the best of luck.
You know what you are, Qiana? You are every reel that says, don't come in here with that bullshit. Me coming in with the bullshit.
I love y'all. I hate that I missed last month. Hello.
You too.
How you doing?
I am great. How's everyone tonight?
Feeling great. Wonderful. Feeling great. Feeling good. Mm-hmm.
Next topic before we cut loose and get into our main two. NBA. Two things mainly here. The league has just agreed to a $76 billion media deal with its network partners. The only hitch in that deal is whether the final broadcast partner is going to be in NBC or TNT. Because as everyone knows, if you've been following the NBA, is that TNT pretty much was like, we ain't gonna put up no additional money than we've been putting up to keep our rights to broadcast NBA games. And NBC is like, yo, we can put games on Peacock. So
don't put games on Peacock, y'all.
They're gonna put games on Peacock.
I mean, the stream, this is just, my mom is 82 years old and she's like, so I just ain't gonna be able to watch shit pretty much because everything is going to stream. And I just don't think that that's fair, particularly to older people who don't want to deal with all of that. Like, stop taking away people's options. Most of us got rid of cable, but at this point, you paying for everything, right back to paying for cable again.
And you're so right about that. And I think it's one of the things where I remember seeing the reels, like we have reinvented cable by the time you pay for all this. Like, we assumed, not us, but America assumed that they could cut the cord and drastically reduce revenue streams for all of these broadcast companies, and they weren't going to retaliate or come up or pivot and come up with a new way to do it. And they were like, oh, you want streaming? Okay, we're gonna stream one channel per $9.95. Now what you gonna do? Now you're spending $60 to see exclusive stuff on all these channels, and you might as well pay for cable for $75.
And you're paying more if you don't want the ads or commercials.
Right. And you still got to pay for the internet, which doesn't come with any of that.
For me, it's to the point where right now I've got YouTube TV for live TV, and I've got most of the streaming services. I may as well cancel all of that and just get, TV with Comcast again. Because we're the only thing for me, and just my specific example is I would use my Apple TV box and use the Comcast app and not spend the $10 per month per box rental fee for their cable box.
My God.
Yeah. Other than that, we're almost neck and neck as far as prices go. At least I'm almost neck and neck. I won't speak for everybody.
Well, I'm using other people's passwords. I'm sick.
Yeah, I got OTP.
Yep. Other people's passwords. You know what? And I know we're on NBA, but this does correlate to the NFL as well. Sunday ticket is now $450 for the upcoming season.
What?
US dollars?
Yes.
Money dollars?
Yes. I checked it because I was like, it's about time that Sunday ticket should have sent me an email because I got the joint last year around this time.
How much was it last year?
Last year was just over 300.
Does that include a Super Bowl ticket?
No.
That is a 35% increase.
I just grabbed my whole chest.
It was roughly 325 last year. 325 or 350 just for Sunday ticket through YouTube.
Now, James, here's the question that I have. Because now that Sunday ticket is through YouTube TV, do you have to have YouTube TV?
No.
Okay.
You can get Sunday ticket by itself without YouTube TV.
Okay.
And for the $100 and basically $25 markup, I'm like, what the hell? But DirecTV is being sued. DirecTV and the NFL are being sued.
I was just about to ask you that.
About price gouging.
Yeah.
And so that suit pretty much, it looks like they're about to lose because they've already lost a decision and trying to appeal to a higher court. My thing is, y'all going to appeal all the way up to where y'all going to lose this at every single level. And it's got to get to a point to where a certain level up is like, these levels below already said y'all lost. Why y'all going appealing up? I don't think they're going to make it to the Supreme Court. They keep saying they're going to, but I'm like, at a certain point, you're going to go up, all 12 levels of hell until
it depends on, they might. It depends on what they're getting out of it while they're going up the Supreme Court. Like if they can continue to charge through the nose while it goes up through all the courts, it could take 2 years to get to the Supreme Court, and they'll be making that money for 2 years. So they'll do it.
James, it might be time for us to just start planting our feet down and getting our spot back at Taco Mac on Sundays again.
I'm not mad at you.
It'll be cheaper. It'll definitely be cheaper for me to go to Taco Mac and basically drop $30 on food and drinks every Sunday while the Eagles are playing than paying $450 for 17 games.
How many weeks?
17 weeks.
17 weeks.
No, it's cheaper.
18 weeks. Sorry, 18 weeks because of 17 games, but 18 Sundays basically. 18
Sundays. It's cheaper for you to get the Sunday ticket. Unfortunately, and they probably have thought about that and priced that out. Yeah. Like, now if you go to Taco Mac and just get water. I
ate before I got here.
Right.
But I can't camp out at the bar and drink water for 4 hours watching football.
No.
Well, and they know that. Well, isn't somebody else getting sued? Is NFL Sunday ticket or whatever it is, are they being sued? Like somebody got sued and they have to pay the actual patrons back.
Yes. Okay. It's Sunday ticket and the NFL.
NFL. Okay.
Yes, they're both getting sued because they're saying that there's collusion between the two.
And it is.
As far as how the NFL dictates what games get national coverage based on where you live. So like when they say at 1 o'clock, right? If NBC or not CBS and Fox have a different game on at 1 o'clock, where you live dictates whether you get one or both of those games. Right? So Atlanta typically plays 1 o'clock Sunday games every Sunday, unless it's a marquee matchup or they're playing the Saints. So at 1 o'clock here in Atlanta, whatever network they're playing on, whether it's CBS or Fox, that is the only game on local TV. No other game is on TV.
That's crazy.
At all. So without Sunday ticket, I got to watch the Falcons and whoever their opponent is.
So there's this white man that like lives across the way from me. I live in an apartment complex. He got like an 80-inch screen TV. I can see his TV through my bedroom window, but I live.
That's old school. I like it.
Dallas.
Old school.
So I don't want to see those games. We're gonna have to work something out.
Oh my gosh! But yeah,
we need to start doing like watch parties like we used to do with pay-per-view fights back when Holyfield and
that would be cool.
Tyson,
Riddick Bowe and all them,
Like
and
everybody put in $10
$10
towards a Sunday ticket, and then we all go somewhere and watch the game.
I mean, I would be definitely down for that.
Yeah, right. I would be.
We need to talk to Abiba.
Abiba lives far though.
That's
true. Fred.
Ooh.
But see, Fred and Fury is going to want to watch the Falcons.
I was about to ask, are y'all just volunteering people, or are these people who are
we're volunteering. We are volunteering people.
Voluntold.
We can talk Fred into it though. We can talk.
We probably could.
Okay.
The other NBA story, other two NBA stories. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics for winning the finals. That gives them, what is that, 19 now? I think I don't know. Yeah, I think it's 19, more than any other franchise.
Really?
Yeah. Jaylen Brown was Finals MVP. Jason Tatum is getting ready for the Olympics right now, and the squad has been selected. The NBA draft was Furious. What was that, last week?
Yep.
Or the week before?
No, I'm sorry, week before. Week
before last was the NBA draft. The big news coming out the draft was nobody drafted, and was not about anybody drafted in the first round. It was a player drafted in the second round, LeBron James Jr., aka Bronny, drafted by the Lakers, who was playing in Summer League until yesterday when they decided to shut him down for the rest of Summer League. And LeBron James did sign a 2-year contract to play with his son on the Lakers. And while I have you all here, let me just I have to show this because this is hilarious.
What is he doing?
Yes, it's bad. It is very bad. And I don't have any problem putting it out there.
Thanks for the disclaimer.
So here we go. This gentleman right here makes a valid point.
Facts. LeBron James is the first player to play with his stepdad, his real dad, and his real son.
Oh my God!
All in front of Kendrick Lamar's son.
Wow!
I do not feel bad for sharing that. I am glad you all enjoyed the laugh because I thought it was hilarious.
That is hilarious. Yo, this Kendrick whooping, because it's not a beef anymore.
It's an annihilation.
Kendrick Lamar violation of another person's humanity.
Lord, time of death, 8:05 p.m.
Yo, matter of fact, I just saw, and what I love is that he decided to just let it open source. People been sampling that and doing other little raps over They Not Like Us. I saw, I want to say she's probably from Texas, maybe from Houston, a Black woman and her daughter doing a duet rap on They Not Like Us, and the lyrics is fire. I was loving it. I've seen, what is it? BBL. No. It's a.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a mix. Like a reggaeton Hispanic version.
No.
BBL, El Drake, BBL.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I saw that on social media.
But I love that they had the whole world. It's Japanese and Koreans rapping over They Not Like Us.
Yes.
I mean, it's not over.
When the beef started, the first thing I thought to myself, and I know I said it to somebody, the man has a Pulitzer Prize.
Right.
He is going to win. And everybody was laughing at J. Cole because J. Cole was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm not
with him.
Yeah, like the Homer Simpson in the bushes.
Right.
Then he backs up. I'm out. Yep. I don't want no part of that.
J. Cole was like, you know what? On second thought, I'm gonna go back into the studio and work on my next album.
You know what? This is that whole scene from Friday where Drake is the dude that got his chain stolen, and J. Cole is his dad. Hey, what's happening? You want some too, man? No,
No.
get back in the car. What you doing bothering these good people? and Drake just getting stomped out. He gonna cry in the car.
Jesus.
That's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm.
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. Oh, he won't.
Yeah.
Or he won't. He can take some time off.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that's all I got on NBA. If anybody has anything else to
Oh
add.
yeah, we were talking about the NBA.
Well, I just I wasn't paying attention anymore. I was just looking at the Mavs like y'all are literally at this point taking more hits than Drake. Like y'all just get killed. KILT. What is this?
Yeah.
Rest in their peace. But it will be very interesting. I don't know. This whole dynamic of Klay Thompson coming in. I don't know. I don't know. Good luck to y'all.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
Look, what I found funny was the way literally every talking head picked the Mavericks to win this series. And I'm like, y'all do realize this Boston core has been together the last 6 years, lost 2 finals, and has 2 of the best young stars in the league who are hungry as and want this chip.
And lost their coach.
This is the best possible matchup for them. Like, y'all should have been hoping that Minnesota came back in that series and won it so you can get at least 6 or 7 games out of the finals. I looked at this like Boston about to beat the brakes off of Dallas. Because everyone's
Boston actually came to the game. Dallas stayed here like the whole time. And then when they were here playing, I think they was in the back at the concession stand getting nachos. I mean,
oh God.
Hello.
All I know is this. I didn't watch the finals. I woke up the next day, looked at the scores, and every time I looked at the score, I'm like, damn, is Dallas even in this series? Do they realize they have games to play?
Area code.
They lost every single game they lost because it went 5 games, 4 games to 1. The 4 games Boston won, they won by an average of 23 points.
So
Not
if you add all that up, they could play a whole nother game and just take their excess points from the other games and win again.
And then it was terrible.
I'm like, how did they win all 4 games by 23 points on average? And the one game they lost, they only lost by I think it was like 12 or 10 points. Dallas didn't even blow them out in the game they won.
So, James, let me ask you this. Are we at the point where, remember when the East used to be the dominant league in the NBA, and then we saw that switch and the West became dominant? Are we at that point where the East is about to become dominant again?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, maybe.
No. So mainly because a lot of the Eastern teams are cheap. And I look at, so if you look at the 8 teams that made the playoffs in the East and the West and look at their roster composition, so look at who spent money on star players, and you were to rank those 16 teams 1 through 16, I would say Boston and who was number 2 out there? Boston, maybe Milwaukee, and Philadelphia would probably be the only 3 Eastern teams that would place with the West teams before you finish out. Like it would be the 3 of them, the top 5 or 6 teams in the West. That's your top 10 right there. And then whatever's left of the East. Because again,
why is she commenting? Why is she not here?
Yeah.
Where's she at?
She had a prior engagement.
Well, we're glad you came to the comments.
She's prioritizing the comments.
She said she couldn't make it today. But thank you for checking in. Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks don't spend money either.
So as it stands right now, here's 1 through 6. And Boston, New York, Celtics, Knicks, Bucks, Cavs, Magic, Pacers. Those are the top 6 teams in the East right now.
Yeah.
This sound like the words to activate the Winter Soldier. Cavs, Celtics, some Pacers, Library, Chicken Head.
That's why we can't take you nowhere.
You can't.
Oh my gosh! But
that's exactly why I would take joy everywhere.
I know. But yeah, to your point, Furious, I don't think there's a switch because it's probably more parity now. There's been a balance. Neither conference has been completely dominant. You know, Denver was the first non-Warriors team to win the championship from the West since the Spurs, maybe the last time they won it, because it's pretty much been Golden State has been the Western representative for about 8 seasons.
Fair. That's fair.
What'd you say? Oh gosh. So yeah, but yeah, we'll see what next year looks like with player movement and everything going on. The other basketball story I have relates to the Olympic team, so I'm gonna hold off on that. Does anybody?
I'm just hoping next year, since the Hawks have the #1 draft pick, we avoid the play-in round and actually get a legitimate playoff spot,
or just not go.
No, I don't want them to not go. No.
Trust, not going is better than going to the play-in round. One, you get better draft position. Two, you don't have to. I mean, it's a money grab for the team's ownership group because you put butts in seats for a playoff game, but what are the odds of them actually winning their first round matchup against either the 1 or 2 seed in the conference?
Yeah, especially since we still have, that person who I think needs to go, but that's a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm. So, Qiana, got a story for us this evening? That's not Olympics or WNBA, because I'm saving those for the last.
Well, I'm going home. I'm already home.
Because look, you two down there, I know you both have WNBA and or Olympic stories, and I want to hold off and save that for, because that's going to be.
Let's do it now. What else we got to talk about? Let's go.
I mean, Joy, do you have anything?
Of course not.
Again, the person who we changed the day of the day is not bringing nothing to the table.
Nothing to the table.
I do want to share this. Before we get into it, WNBA and Olympics, I do want to share this last thing. The NCAA removes cannabis from banned drug list for all sports.
Interesting.
It's too hard. That's too hard to keep track of, and it's too easy to get in too many places where it's legal. They can't enforce it anymore. So just stop. Just leave the cannabis alone. It ain't hurt nobody. Let me tell you, pull us back full so I can say this with my whole chest. Cannabis has never been, nor will it ever be, a gateway drug. It has never been that. It was used as that to foster fear and contempt for Black Americans, and for hippies, specifically the young people in like 68, 69 who were protesting the Vietnam War, the whole Summer of Love, all of that. They put them out as these drug taking hippies out here hugging trees and doing peyote and pot, and maybe they were, but they weren't harmful, and none of them ever escalated. You know who escalates? Them stockbrokers from coke to meth, or they just start at meth and just go downhill from there. But too many places have it legal for them to try to enforce that. It would constantly be arbitration and lawsuits and discrimination. Is just stop. So, but it has never been a performance enhancement. If anything, you might fall asleep and miss your whole track meet. So I don't understand why it was ever a problem.
And we know it's not a performance enhancer because look at when Sha'Carri had her bout with it. No performance enhancement, and then she still got disqualified.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she's back now.
I know.
It does say here that any penalties currently being served by student athletes who previously tested positive for cannabis will be discontinued. So any
I smoked today. Shit.
So they want.
I would light up to that.
Their drug suspension for whatever sport they're playing is effectively over as of this decision. So
nice.
Resume playing.
Sweet. Interesting.
But yeah, let's get into it. Let's just get into, and I'm gonna just put them both up here: the WNBA and the Olympics. Since these are going to cross over in a multitude of ways. And Qiana, go ahead.
So for me, it's not necessarily anything specific. I am enjoying the hell out of these games. These are athletes. These women are fighting like dudes in the street. I love it. I love it. That last game with Angel and Caitlin, I was on the edge. Like, oh my God. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have not enjoyed basketball like this in a while. So for me right now, I can just keep watching the WNBA. I even enjoy all the stupid, disrespectful, ignorant comments. Why? Because you're talking about it. So keep doing that. Like I said, I hope the support just continues. You know, I'm tired of the whole Caitlyn versus whatever. I don't even dislike her. It's just the narrative of other people. You can't just keep talking about her. You have to talk about other people. And if I had been in the WNBA for a little while, I would be like, okay, hi, I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, I earned this. She's a newbie. She's great and everything. But it's just getting a little bit out of control. But the games are awesome. The crowds are awesome. Like, the support has been great. I mean, even to the point now, y'all, they got a lady on the Basketball Wives that's dating one of the members of the Dallas Wing. So they done crossed over into the trash reality TV.
That's what's up. That's a come up. I appreciate that. I'm all for it.
Winning. Because VH1 be paying.
All right.
They be paying.
So, as one of you knuckleheads posted in the chat a while ago that I'm pointing at right now, and I didn't want to show it tonight. It said, when WNBA players start making $100 million and signing these contracts,
you thirsty.
And it was pictures of like how they gonna have these dudes float out. The commentary is hilarious.
One dude was pregnant.
I say, y'all about to be baby daddies out here. Ooh,
halfway through, I'm like, wait a minute. Some of these women these dudes are talking about getting, they taking care of it. I'm like, the women you talking about don't want you. They're gonna be flying out other women.
Well, they think they'll be a great addition. Like there are a lot of straight men that always think that. Oh, I can come on here and do absolutely
in the middle.
nothing.
Nobody wants you in the middle.
No, go clean the kitchen.
The tweet was
take the trash out.
Take the trash.
Go make me a sandwich.
Yes,
right. Go cook my next meal. Like, make yourself truly useful. I don't
cook this grass. Why you at?
Like, that's the only thing you can do right now.
Right. Why is door squeaking? Fix this.
Fix
one
this.
of them WNBA women come up to me and be like, "Hey, I got a deal for you. All right, bet. Let's go."
Yep.
That house will be spotless. Her dinner will be rich. All of it.
All I know is every woman in the WNBA over 6 feet, I'm calling mommy. So
pretty much.
Yes, mommy. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be sending y'all pictures of navigation maps and be like, both of y'all for the streets. I love it. I love it. It's time y'all get loved on and flued out.
Right. Get flued out. Right.
Get flued out.
I mean, and from what I hear, some of them like the salt and pepper, and I'm like, I got a little salt and pepper going on.
There you go. There you go.
I will be your condiment. I love this shit. Is just hilarious. This is hilarious to me. I have some guy friends. They're like, "Damn, I ain't never thought about being no trick," but I'm like, "Oh, tell."
It's not even about it. Why I gotta be a trick? Why I got to be? Can I not?
You
just
don't have to be a trick, but they've implied that that's the category. Go put themselves.
Here's the category. One of those things that was in there was talking about the face you make when you got shown the door the next morning when you thought you was about to be the one. Like, yeah, the tricks is in there too. Mm-hmm.
I got a game.
All I'm saying is I will happily throw on that apron and be that house husband and won't think twice about it.
Ving Rhames and Baby Boy.
No. Yeah, I'm looking for Ving Rhames. That'd be awesome. Ribbit.
Oh my. Oh no. Oh no. No.
I'll make it have a sugar baby.
No.
So,
No.
it's just me and these
gosh.
donuts.
I will say this. If you don't have a Twitter account, at the very least, get one and just follow everything WNBA.
Yeah.
So that at the very least you can watch the fits these women are wearing, because good Lord.
Yes.
Just amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm tearing up.
They look
You okay?
so much
I got
better.
me laughing so hard over here.
I thought he was getting hot. Think about the women's.
I mean, that too.
They
Oh,
look so much better than the NBA players look coming to the arenas.
Let's see if I can find something real quick.
And
profiling.
what always cracks me up is, now, I'm not a very fashionable person, but I know to be fashionable and to be trendy is expensive.
Very much so.
And as bad as these women are, just bad ass from head to toe. And then you see the NBA dudes with these multi-$100 million salaries walking in looking like they just, rolled out of the dirt, coming in looking like down.
Or looking like somebody auntie getting off a cruise ship.
Right.
The failed summer line, Wakanda line. No, take that back. Don't wear that.
There's nothing wrong with wearing a sweatsuit to the game, but some of the suits, if you want to call them that, I'm like, I ain't feeling that. Yep.
I see that.
Yeah.
They look like they getting ready to stroll the runway. You know what I'm saying? Like they look great.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I always love seeing. And again, this is just the me that loves looking at pretty people talking right now, not necessarily about sports, but seeing the ladies of the WNBA when they are at all kinds of other things.
Yeah.
And in those out, I'm like, man, just amazing.
You're breaking down barriers, you know what I mean? Because that's another reason why, I don't feel like the league had been successful. You're not letting these people be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the support wasn't there enough, but they feel free. Like, I'm about to put on this Gucci.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna say some real out of pocket stuff.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna say it anyway. The WNBA did not do well for a long time because they tried to keep them in that Midwestern ladylike motif of just play ball and be quiet, and a lady doesn't this and be docile and be boxed in, and then but also the WNBA started the same way the NBA started. It was a lot different mix of players, and now you got a lot more this younger generation don't give a fuck, and they're loud, they're boisterous, they're witty. They are hilarious. They're born comedians.
Especially this draft class. This current draft class right now in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't quiet at all. They are speaking.
Similar to what we saw with the NBA and the NFL, when you started getting more colorful characters, bringing eyes to it. Like, I didn't know Cam Newton at all, but I knew what he looked like because I'd seen them outfits, And so for a non-sports follower, even I know the name, even I might flip past the game just to see what he's wearing. The most famous reel of LeBron is him with a suit on, getting his little messenger bag and walking out the door. Like, all these antics lead to people saying, what's this about? Yeah. And so letting these women be themselves, just like any other thing where someone has struggled to be something they didn't want to be, they have failed. And when they become themselves, the sky is the limit. Billy Porter was living in his car when he was trying to do straight R&B. Wow. He decided, I'm gonna just do me and just be super gay and put on a skirt. Next thing you know, he was the lead in Kinky Boots, and then Pose, and then everything. He became almost a household name when he stopped trying to be something he wasn't. And when they started letting these WNBA women be whatever kind of woman they wanted to be,
Right.
and show up however made them feel good and look good, etc. All of a sudden, here come the eyes, because we are actually interested in seeing real people.
Yeah.
And not just the same folks in the same track sweatsuit, going into the game looking sad because they can't express themselves, being quiet. The in my opinion, as a non-sports watcher, the real that got people into the WNBA was, Becky coming. And then when they were sitting there, it was Aja and who else?
Asia Wilson and one of her teammates sitting on the
Asia Wilson and one of her teammates. They were
bench.
like, Becky coming. And Becky walked by. It was just feeling, it was her and her girl. Just having a good time on the sidelines, caught on a hot mic. It was hilarious. And all of a sudden, everybody want to know, who is this? And now you see what you see, because that clip is like 2 years old, isn't it? Or 3?
Yes. Yeah. About 2 years old. Yes, before their first championship in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And the more eyes we get on the game, the more people want to watch. They can cut bigger TV deals and start getting paid.
Mm-hmm. Without any sort of marketing, she got Usher, all in her face as a WNBA player.
She said, "Pull up." He pulled all the way up.
Yep.
And her strawberries, chocolate covered strawberries at the concert that they went to.
Yep. And freaked her all the way out. It was so funny. Because she didn't know what to do with herself. It was so cute.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then these women are also becoming like business owners. Like Angel has a part in the football club that's going to be in DC. I don't know if it's one of the Aces or someone on the Mystics. They got their own cigars coming out. So there's just more opportunity. I make all the money that you can, because you deserve it, and you deserve to have your hand in the pot just like everybody else. So it's just like Joy said, now, everybody's eyes are really open. Like, we want to get to know these people. The desire is there. It's not about it being women's sports, but it's how you put them out as the step foot black basketball wives.
Right.
I don't want to see this. I don't care about your sexuality or whatever. I just want to know who you
are.
Good
ball and good fun. Yeah.
And they're also debunking those myths and stereotypes as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I just want to watch good basketball and buy the products that I like that you were pushing.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, because what's your girl's name that owns didn't she get the dream from one of them raggedy Congress people?
From the senator, from Loeffler?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the dream. What's her name? Renee something.
I'm blanking on the name, but yeah, she's a former player. She was a former player for the Dream. But yeah, she bought the team out from under Loeffler and her ownership group.
Renee Montgomery. Yep.
Okay.
Hooray for her.
Absolutely. And there's a docuseries, I think it's on Amazon Prime, that talks about that entire thing from when they went to the bubble and how they swayed, how they impacted, basically. They literally impacted that election here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Wow.
For that Senate seat. So
because there were so many, like, I didn't even have a clue that that Loeffler was the owner until all of that started going down.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's funny how, not to bring this full circle to what we talked about earlier, a certain party always wants to say sports has no place in politics until money becomes involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they want to have a say-so as far as how they can institute politics in the sports. And it's like, but the moment sports does something because something political is unjust, they have a problem.
Mm-hmm. Shut up and dribble.
Yep.
Right. So
we need to just go ahead and start negotiating for all we really need is 2 states. We just need Georgia and South Carolina. If they just give us Georgia and South Carolina, we can make it work. Like, y'all can have the rest. Y'all can have Florida,
Yeah, we don't want
hurricanes. No, we just need Georgia and South Carolina. We could grow our own food. We could just have a ball and it just be Blacktown all over the place, and just let us have it.
I want Tennessee. I want Tennessee.
How do you want Tennessee?
Just when I look at the layout of those states together, I want Tennessee purely just for the look of how all of that fits together. I want Tennessee as well.
Okay, we can do Tennessee. That's gonna be a hard sell though. Tennessee is is worse than Georgia when it comes to digging in. You can have a whole lot of fights in the mountains because they're not coming down out of there.
That's gonna be hard. You're right. That is gonna be hard.
I say we let them have Tennessee. We might be able to broker a deal for Tennessee at some point.
Actually, if we're doing this, talking about taking states, can we go somewhere with a little less humidity?
No. You trade humidity for snow.
Sir, you have been here 46 going on 47 years.
Hey, why you got to be
hated it? I hated it every year.
And I have hated it every year.
But I've been
yet you are still here.
I've been in the snow in like Minneapolis in December. I don't never want to do that again in my life.
Jesus, why?
Never. Work, it was terrible. It was terrible. I fell on some black ice. It was terrible. I'll never want to do it again.
I thought she was gonna say she fell on some black guys.
No, that was New Orleans.
Every month.
Every month.
My dad.
I was in Chicago one year for New Year's, and I love the people that I went to see, but that winter in Chicago,
it takes the breath out of your lungs when you get off the plane. It's terrible.
That's real winter, not the stuff you deal with here in Georgia.
That's why I'm staying here. That's why we picked Georgia. We didn't pick DC. We picked Georgia and South Carolina.
I mean, again, James, I've got a lot of family in Michigan, so I have been in real winter before.
Okay, cool. Because I wear hoodies in December down here.
I don't want to do that again.
I don't never want to do it. No.
All right, Furious, what's your topic for this month?
My topic for the month that I'm sick of. So, Caitlin Clark, and not just Caitlin Clark, but this entire rookie class coming into the WNBA has been very noteworthy, prolific, excellent. Mm-hmm. What I am sick and tired of is this vocal, and I don't even know if I can call them a vocal minority, but there's just a very vocal group of people who they're not watching the WNBA. Mm-hmm. They're watching Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And because so many people are so loud and so vocal, and don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to anybody being a fan and being in support of whoever their player is. But these people keep coming in and they're just kind of like, it's Caitlin Clark against the world, and the WNBA wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark. And because of this, the narrative is being driven by people who truly, in my opinion, don't give a damn about the sport. All they care about is seeing Caitlin Clark. And again, fine. She is your player of choice. Love on her all you want to. She ain't the only person in the WNBA.
I feel
and she ain't even the best.
That part.
She's not going to be the best because she's a rookie.
And that's not me hating on her. It's a fact. She's just not.
It's never
as
been
much as I love
even Kobe wasn't the best in his rookie year, you know. But I am growing to be ambivalent about it because on the one hand, she's not overhyped because it's not like she's doing any of the hyping, and it's not like people are saying she's the best to ever do it. It's just other people. Remember when we got the first black quarterback in the NFL? And how we all rolled with him. We didn't care who he was playing for. We cared what he was doing. He was black, and we were excited to see a black person in that position. White people feel like that when it comes to the NBA and WNBA. Like, oh, it's a white girl. Let's root for her. And they root for her no matter where she is. And so but keeping her in the game and keeping people glued to watching Caitlin means whatever the opposing team they're playing is going to have more participation as well, because they fill in the seats at these stadiums. If they all coming to see Caitlin, okay, that's great. Everybody else in here getting paid though. So I kind of don't care that they are gaga over Caitlin. Do that. And when she gets whooped, it's not like, you know, we did it on purpose. It's not like they were being mean to her. That's the only thing I don't like is when she's having a struggle, they act like they're discriminating against her. But at the same time, we may have said the same thing about a black quarterback back in the 90s. Like, well, they didn't give him, and just making excuses for whatever bad day he had. I understand how they feel because, I mean, she is their great white hope. So let her do that. And the girl does have skill. It's not like they brought in some unqualified person off the street and said, here, Becky, go bounce this ball. Because Becky is the head coach, clearly. But I know, got that in. See, I knew stuff.
Actually, the head coach of Indiana, I believe her first name is Becky.
Oh
as
God,
well. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Jesus
A
Christ.
lot of Becky's out there, but yeah, I want her to have a great season. I want her to do well, and I want people to continue to watch her because they're also watching the opposing team who might whoop her on occasion, and then wondering who are those people over there when they come dominating the screen. So I'm all for it.
But Joy, one thing that's a little bit different though, like you said, when we finally got a black quarterback, but before that, we were already watching. We were already fans. We were just waiting for something that kind of spoke to us. These fans are people who didn't even care about the WNBA until Caitlin Clark got here. And that's the piece of it that I don't like is, again, people who don't care about the league and the sport are kind of driving the narrative. Because there was an article that I was looking at that, which tab is it in?
Christy is the head coach of Indiana, by the way. My bad, not Becky.
That the title of the article is
Becky was the head coach of the Aces because I said, "Oh, Becky coming."
Yeah, earlier. Becky is the head coach of the Aces.
So there's one title. It's the title of the article is WNBA facing intense backlash over decision on Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever game, because there's a game where it's going to be, what is this, on July 10th when they play the Washington Mystics.
Now?
That was earlier today.
Oh, earlier today.
Yeah, that was earlier today.
It was either at 12 or 1 o'clock. I forget what time the game was.
1 o'clock.
And again, it's this whole thing of backlash over the decision on Caitlin Clark. No, this is just how the games get scheduled. But again, it's this whole focus that, we hate because y'all are discriminated against Caitlin Clark. No. Now, you can make the argument that they need to do a better job of how they figure out the schedule. And I'm willing to have that discussion. But to say that it's all about this one player, that's what irritates me, because all these people who never watched are now behind Caitlin Clark. You starting to see all these articles and all this coverage shifting just to her.
Yeah.
James and I were talking about it earlier. Who were the analysts that you were bringing up, James? That they said, all right, Caitlin did these things, but what she did isn't worth.
Duncan, Shanae Gumake, Monica McNutt. These are all analysts who work for ESPN. And is they're like, yes, she's an excellent player, but we're not going to let this one person dominate our entire coverage of the league.
And it shouldn't.
But a lot of things are trending in that direction. And again, like Joy, you made an excellent point though. Even if everybody coming to that game is coming to see her, everybody else is getting paid. But my thing is, and God forbid, I don't want to see this happen, but it's always a possibility because basketball is a contact sport. What happens if she gets hurt? She's not playing for 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, they riding in the streets.
Right.
And they trying to fight whoever hurt her, like real, crazy people.
Yeah. And I read, and I try to stay away from comments because the comment section is just trash. And I'm seeing all the coded language when I read the comments. Why are these thugs targeting her? And I'm like, really? Is that what we're going back to that? Why are these thugs targeting her? This is what it feels like to be discriminated against. And I'm just like, if you motherfuckers don't go somewhere.
Well, all those ride or dies. Those are the Project 2025 people. So
I was just about to say that.
That's what. But I agree with you, Matt. It's like, it's not about basketball, it's about her. Because even in their talking, they don't even say basketball, they don't say the game. Caitlin Clark. Her name has just totally and completely replaced anything and everything. So again, it's the great white hope. And oh my God, she fell. Oh my God, they touched her. I'm just like, well, the last time I checked, this was a sport.
Right, she's gonna take that charge, bro. That's what she's supposed to do.
You gonna have to take this hit.
And
in
it's
pickleball, there's contact. You fall and bust your ass. So
Right.
I mean, not quite sure what you are. We know what you're trying to do, but
Yeah.
I'm with you. I have thought about that. What if she does get hurt and then they're gonna ride at the Capitol? I guess again, you know,
Quite possibly, yeah.
The WNBA is a physical ass league. These women are not out here pretending to be dainty and I don't want to break my neck. No, if
No, they
you
throw
go
bows.
down that lane,
Yes.
they are gonna foul you
No.
and put you on your.
they're not talking about
Football,
breaking nails. They
they
got
take the
long
nails
nails,
off before the game
eyelashes,
starts.
hair, and out
Yeah.
there playing better than some of the men. So
Right.
bring it.
You just got to know how to finger roll all the way off the end of the nail. Just
Oh, no.
add extra English to the ball.
They take the nails off and the hair goes in a ponytail most times. And they out there just
I'm just
roughing it.
saying, but full faces of makeup and those eyelashes, I can't even do that for if somebody give me
Hey,
those. Not
won't.
a club, a lounge.
It won't do it. This is my full face of makeup. Is this lip gloss right here?
But yeah, that's my issue is this percentage of people that are driving the narrative who care about this one player, but not the sport as a whole. And that just really bothers the piss out of me.
I feel you.
And look, so a week or so after our last show, I was talking to my uncle because they like picking my brain about sports and everything. And we got talking about the WNBA and to what a lot of what you said here is the narrative and everything, how it's geared that way. And he asked my opinion about, everything going on with Caitlin Clark. And I'm like, most of it's unjustified. Don't get me wrong. She is a very good player. Dare I say she can be great one day. We have to wait and see. We can't just thrust greatness on her day one. It's a wait. Like no one's great day one. It's going to take time. She has to adjust to the physicality of this league. And I told him like that was something that she got away with in college because yes, she played for Iowa. What a lot of people fail to realize, and again, this goes to that contingent who just discovered Caitlin Clark because of the 2 championship games she lost in college. She stayed at Iowa. She basically, up until she got drafted, she had been in Iowa her whole life playing basketball. So hold on, because I'm going to get to a racial component about that very shortly. When she was being recruited by colleges, she was also recruited by UConn. So understand that most of the vast majority of women who came out of UConn into the WNBA pretty much hit the ground running, ready to play in the WNBA. Why? Because UConn plays in a physical conference. I can't remember if they're still AAC or Big East, UConn women. I can't remember what conferences they're in, but they play in a physical conference. I have seen the games UConn has played against Notre Dame and Boston College and
they like to tussle.
Right. They scrap, even on the college level. Iowa is playing in the Big Ten. Now, granted, men's basketball in the Big Ten may be physical. Women's basketball in the Big Ten is not physical. It just isn't. She had the freedom and the space to run around. Now, the demographics of the state of Iowa, and this is the racial component I'm going to bring up.
UConn is in the Big East.
Huh?
Big East.
Big East still? Okay. The population of Iowa is probably, dare I say, 5% African American, and that may be generous. All right. So the odds of her playing in high school against other girls who weren't white is quite rare. Right?
It's 4%.
Okay, I was off by 1%. Close enough.
Wait. Let me read this to you.
Is that many?
According to the 2020 census, 131,972 African Americans lived in Iowa, making up 4.1% of the state's population. This is a 216.5% increase from 1980, when they only made up 1.4%.
My gosh. Okay.
They lying. They mix.
The projection is that they will be up to 8.6% by 2050.
Okay, I call BS on that. But to my point,
5 of those people too.
to my point, of all the games Caitlin played in high school, how many of those teams
They
were
make up
mostly
25% of the prison population in Iowa, though.
right?
Now you could have kept that to yourself. God damn it!
Right. So again, how many of those teams that Caitlin play against in her high school career had any African American or women of color on the opposition?
Right. Yeah.
And how and then take it a step further, how many of them were mostly teams that were women of color? Dare I say none? One being generous.
James,
They only
I'd
live
be
in 5
willing to wager. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Joy?
They only live in 5 counties in Iowa.
Turn that shit off.
That's just
Put
funny.
that phone away. Can't enjoy that phone away.
I'm done.
I say all that to say that-
Keeping your phone.
I say all that to say that more times than not, when you look at the background of women of color playing basketball at a young age and white women playing basketball at a young age, who they play against, right? Women of color,
Black girls are growing up playing against their brothers and one athletes. Yeah.
women of color are playing street, like the blacktop outside of their school. They're going to the blacktop, like forget their brothers. They are playing against the hood dudes. So they are literally getting beat up day one because these dudes don't want them on the court and they're proving themselves. And they're banging with them physically.
And whopping them too. Yeah. They
That part.
throwing up threes. Yeah.
Now, and again, I'm more times than not, these are the stories you hear. Just listen to Angel Reese. Angel Reese grew up playing on this courts in Baltimore, where she's from, right? Because she started at University of Maryland before she transferred to LSU.
Growing up in Baltimore is like +2 resilience. Right.
That
You
part.
want to talk about tag being a sports?
Or there was this interview
Right
that
there.
I saw the interview I saw recently with Candace Parker and Kevin Hart, and I don't know how old the interview actually is, but he was asking her when did she realize that she was good at this, and she said she was about 14 or 15, and she was dunking on dudes out there playing basketball.
Yes.
15-year-old dunking on dudes. I'm like, all right, yeah.
And again, those are the type of stories that the Black women and women of color in the league have as far as before they got to college playing basketball, whether it's the high school or just growing up, you know, in the neighborhood playing. They're playing against the boys who basically didn't want them out there. Now, the white girls, whether they have these stories or not, we don't know about them, but it's typically, well, I played against, you know, I played horse with my dad in the garage. You know, or in the driveway or whatever like that. And then they play on their high school team, and typically in a county that where people of color don't exist. Then they get to college, and for some of them, it's a rude awakening because it's like, oh, I'm not physical enough for this game.
Yeah.
Because you don't run into another team that bangs. You know, you're not just going to dribble. You're not going to dribble down into the paint and get a free layup and have no contact. You're not going to go around this screen.
All you see is everybody looking like Cleo from Set It Off. Like it's a whole wall of that. That's intimidating.
Right? So now, granted, and the reason I brought up UConn is that if she had gone to UConn, one, she would have learned how to play a physical game.
Yeah.
But the downside is she wouldn't have been the household name she was at Iowa because she wouldn't have been given the freedom to pop threes from half court all willy-nilly.
Well,
So there's a pro and con to that, because I look at all the women, white, black, whatever, coming out of UConn. They're all physical. Diana Taurasi is 42 and still playing, and is on this upcoming Olympic team.
damn, I didn't know that she was that old.
Yes, she's 42.
So
She is 42. So the point I'm making is that where and how your environment, as far as coming up in basketball, does matter. Yep. So, and again, that was always the biggest knock on Caitlin Clark coming from.
She
college.
did get a triple-double though. Isn't she like the first rookie to get
She's
one?
the first rookie to have a triple-double. She did that this past Saturday when they finally beat the New York Liberty. Granted, and I know she's probably happy because they don't have to play the New York Liberty again this season, because the previous 3 games, if you've seen the highlights, her team has not been calling out screen, and just watching her bow and hit the floor.
And see, I'm sorry, to me that's That's I have to question if your teammates like you when they're not calling that out so that you don't get knocked on your ass.
On the
That
flip
makes me
side,
question if your teammates like you.
Better listen to your corner and watch for the hook.
on the flip side, we got Rakia Jackson of the Sparks, Camila Cardoza of the Sky, Angel Reese of the Sky. All these women are balling. All of them have put up double doubles over the last couple of games.
Yes.
Angel Reese is on a streak, currently 14, which she hit today, extending the longest streak for double doubles in the league, not by a rookie, just all time.
Okay.
And Angel Reese also is the only other player in the league averaging a double double. The other player being Asia Wilson, who is the odds-on favorite to be MVP again.
Yeah,
So,
there's some other article I saw where they're coming from the perspective of, well, of course, Caitlin Clark is going to be Rookie of the Year.
I don't see how, because if you're watching all of the games, if you're watching games in which she's not playing, you can clearly see that this, at the very least, is a discussion. It is not hers outright. Now, draft day, yes. If you would ask me draft day of WNBA, yeah, they're going to find a way to give it to Caitlin Clark. Something special's got to happen for her not to get it. The special thing is happening.
Okay, wait, here it is, Jess. Here it is. It wasn't in the article. It's from the Clark Report, which I'm not familiar with Clark Report, but they are a sports.
Is that specifically about Caitlin Clark?
Good news. Future Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark plays basketball tomorrow.
No.
That sounds like a fan site, bro.
Yeah, that's a fan site. Nope, don't trust it.
Yeah.
But look, let's put it this way. It is a two-player race between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year. And yes, an acquaintance Joy and I did put out there, who do you think should win? And people are making a case either way. And some people are saying it should be Rookie of the Year, like it happened in the NBA with Jason Kidd and Grant Hill. And I'm like, no, I don't want that.
They only do co stuff. That always brings me back to The Apprentice when, oh boy, the black guy won. And they were like, don't you want to share this win with this white girl over there who didn't win? And he was like, no. And then everybody thought he was an asshole for not wanting to share his victory with somebody who didn't win. I'm like, but she didn't win, though. Right. And so I can see that happening here where Angel Reese is clearly by the end of the season way blown out her little one. Maybe she might get another triple double, but being consistent versus having a couple of highlights, consistency should be what brings you Rookie of the Year, not just a couple of show off moments. She may have more moments and actually earn it. Now, be fine if she did, but if she doesn't, they got to give it to the person. We're supposed to be a meritocracy. Give it to the person that has earned it and has shown with consistency and good numbers over the course of the season that they are the best rookie that has been drafted. And if that may be Caitlin Clark, but it might not be as well. And it can't be this foregone conclusion that just because you like her, she's going to win, because that's how you set yourself up for riots in the streets and people trying to take over the Capitol again, because just so you like somebody, you want them to win, it ain't going to happen.
How dare you use common sense and big words? How dare you?
Use more than two syllables over.
Dare you? How dare you?
Multi-syllabic words.
The All-Star game is next weekend. And I'm going to segue to the Olympics briefly because last time we did the show, we talked about the Olympic team being named. The WNBA All-Star team was named. Of course, those on the Olympic team who were voted as all-stars were bumped for the next person in line receiving votes to be on the WNBA all-star team. I'm going to just read these names off. They are DeWanna Bonner, Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Alicia Gray, Darica Hamby, Brianna Jones, Jonquel Jones, Kayla McBride, Kelsey Mitchell, Arike Agumbawale, Nneka Ogwumike, and Angel Reese. That is your team WNBA who will be playing the women's Olympic team a week from Saturday in Phoenix. That is your all-star game.
Wait, the all-stars is the also-rans against the Olympic team?
No, it's legit all-stars. Because again, normally this would be.
But didn't you say some of the people that got picked as all-stars got bumped up to the Olympic team and they had to give up their spot on the all-star team? So all-star team is junior varsity at best.
No, it's not.
No.
Because if there were, here's what I'm saying. The Olympic team was selected, but they did not pull them from the ballots of all-star voting, and which they probably should have done. They should have pulled the Olympic members from the all-star voting. They didn't do that. They left them on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
So if they got voted as an all-star, they were bumped from that roster of the all-star roster for the next player in line because they're already on the Olympic team.
Mm-hmm. I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that they made the Olympic team, they were better than anybody else on the all-star roster because they are the Olympic team, and you about to put your seniors up against your freshmen.
I mean,
I'm gonna watch it.
For entertainment. It's just entertainment.
We're about to find out, right? So I will say this: there are probably 4 members of the Olympic squad who probably wouldn't have been voted as all-stars.
Okay.
Okay.
Because if you look at the Olympic roster, there are 12 players. 9 of them come from 3 teams.
Well, damn.
The Vegas Aces have 4 representatives.
Yeah.
The Phoenix Mercury have 3.
That's what we did with Pippen and them back in the day. It was like
the
Bulls and some others.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dream Team had 2 Bulls, 2 Jazz, and then like everybody else was individuals. Because Stockton and Malone made it from Utah.
Yep.
And then nobody else had a teammate go. It was Stockton and Malone from the Jazz, and Michael and Scotty from the Bulls, and nobody else had a teammate.
But we are an hour and 26 minutes in. So
yes, we are. And I do want to get to some Olympics briefly. I do want to share this one. Let me pull this up. While I'm pulling this up, dude, to let you know that this is the 4th straight Olympics in which there will be more women on the U.S. team than men.
It's because women run shit in our minds.
Can we just take the men's gymnastics team from the U.S. out?
Oh my gosh. I would be remiss.
They would do better if they provided cold towels for the miles in them.
So this is Duke Kahanamoku. He is in the Olympics Hall of Fame. He participated in the Olympic Games in 1912, 1920, 1924. He won Hawaiian. 5 medals. He is Hawaiian. He won 5 medals, 3 gold across 3 Olympics, and became a surfing ambassador to the world, popularizing that sport. But he went to the Olympics for swimming. So I do want to recognize Duke Kahanamoku, Hawaiian.
Mahalo. And I know that means thank you.
So I definitely wanted to get that in there before we dive into, more Olympics.
That's what's up. Melanated in the 1912s. Look at that.
Yep. So yeah, there are more Olympic, and that's across both the Olympic team and the Paralympic team. Earlier, either today or yesterday, it was announced that Kawhi Leonard is not participating on the men's Olympic basketball team this summer. He pulled out.
Why?
Probably because he's fragile. Dude can't stay healthy. Anybody remember the last time Kawhi Leonard played more than 70 games in a season? I'll wait.
No. Yikes.
Probably when he was with the Spurs.
That part. So he was replaced by Derek White of the Boston Celtics. I know. See, Qiana, your face right there is probably what a lot of people are thinking. Like, who's Derek White, and why is he on the squad? From this, why did that Celtic player get named to the squad?
I told my therapist I was going to work on this.
Nah, don't. When Jaylen Brown is sitting right there, like you already put Jason Tatum on the team, and Jaylen Brown was Finals MVP, but you chose Derek White. And I understand team chemistry and the role that needs to be filled or whatever, but again, Jaylen Brown is right there, and you chose.
Maybe they didn't want to throw him out there for injuries either. They're like, let's keep him back.
So, I mean, the fact that Anthony Davis hasn't pulled out due to injury is also a miracle. Because
he'll pull out when he gets hurt.
He'll pull out when he sneezes.
And again, this isn't me wishing for him to get hurt. It's me stating a fact. He is fragile. He is going to get hurt.
He needs to be anti-fragile.
We hope not. Well, as we are recording tonight, the U.S. is playing a friendly tune-up game against Team Canada tonight.
How's it going,
Let's check and see what that score is, shall we?
Yes.
So it is the first of their 5 friendlies that they're playing. I can't even find what. Wait, give me a score here.
Just
now.
put in like USA Canada NBA score or something.
Yeah, pretty much. And yep, not even being.
You're doing it the hard way.
I am doing it the hard way.
Like, you have your phone next to you, it's so much faster.
Oh man. So yeah. And I can't find a score right now. Anybody else got it?
Wait, now, Joe, with that phone.
Yeah.
Did it?
Wait, that's the World Cup. That is not what we want. Okay.
No, we don't want the World Cup. We want Olympic basketball.
Score. Is it US versus Canada?
Yeah, it's a friendly. It's supposedly on FS1.
I keep getting FIBA scores.
FIBA, yes. Yes.
That's
Siri and Google keep only giving me soccer scores.
Oh, wow. So let me go ahead and try to pull up
Basketball World Cup. Are you sure they're playing tonight?
Yes, they're playing right now. Today is July 10th, right?
In Las Vegas?
Yes, I think they're playing in Vegas.
Nope, they're not telling us the score. Let's move on. We're spending too much time looking for this.
That's fair enough. Does anybody else have any other stories they want to get into?
Well, just real quick with the Olympics, is this true? Is there going to be break dancing?
Yes.
Yes.
It's gonna be
I predict that the Koreans would win too.
Yeah, they probably will.
What's the U.S. team looking like? Is it black people?
We don't take. So here's the thing: breakdancing is always, and it goes along with all the other things from a cultural standpoint. It's something we have fun with. We never really took it seriously. We got good at it. You just assume a breakdance was going to be black, and then other people started getting interested in the culture, and they started studying it. And there's a difference between being naturally good at something and studying it to become a master of something. And when I tell you that Singapore, Korea, China, and Japan have studied this shit, and they are masters at it, their isolations alone would probably win them gold. And I don't know if we have anyone who's thought of it as a competitive sport and not just something to kind of mess with. We got some people that could probably go, but if it's breakdancing in particular, more of the hip hop dancing that is coming out of the United States is around animation, which is, the tick, tick, isolation, all that kind of stuff, and not actual like windmills, breakdancing, floor stunts, etc. So it depends on how they categorize it. There's a very good chance that we won't even medal.
This sounds like double Dutch all over again.
Yep.
No, for real. Like for real.
They saw double Dutch. You know what? We can do that better. And that's why I'm gonna be mad at them. Like, I don't think it's cultural appropriation. A cultural improvement. Like they took our shit and was like, let me show you how it could be done. Yes. And we were like, God, wow.
And it's not appropriation because they do pay homage to the source.
They all do.
They do.
Well, did the Sundowns take double Dutch and improve it, or they just already had the big studios and the coaches and the money?
Wait, the Sun Dodgers are doing double Dutch?
Yeah, the double.
Yes.
The double Dutch team that went to the Olympics for America had no melanated people on it. Last I checked.
Well, that's what Project 2025 is going to get you.
They can have that too.
Yeah, they take it all. But
real quick,
I'll be standing for like K-pop and stuff. I promise you. There's a couple of groups that I listen to, and I discovered that like T-Pain was doing their music. Yes. And like Jermaine Dupri was doing arrangements and stuff like that. Like a lot of the R&B that we like, why does music sound so bad in the States? Go check out like EXO in Korea, because I promise you, they be doing vocal breakdowns like Boyz II Men. The whole like acapella musicality and everything. And I'm like, oh, this is what happened to R&B.
Yeah. Yeah.
10:30 about it.
And they got black choreographers too.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it started with fried chicken.
It did. It started with the Korean War, and then they discovered black people in fried chicken, and it's been kind of a cousin thing ever since.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we can't find the score is because the game doesn't start until 10:30.
10:30. Yeah, I just saw that. My bad.
10:30 tonight?
Yes, tonight.
Boy, plus a West Coast game?
No, wait.
Shit.
They're playing in Vegas.
Hell
They're playing in
no.
Vegas.
That would be West Coast.
Yeah, they're in Vegas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So, yeah.
Vegas is on Pacific time.
So yeah, 10:30 Eastern time is the start. I may fall asleep to it. I don't know. May watch some anime.
But we're not going to talk about Simone Biles.
I mean, I thought that was a given. Look, I have a friend who's going to Paris for the Olympics. I told her she is my gymnastics correspondent for the Olympics because she knows everything technical as far as why this gymnast lost a 1/10 of a point for this move or half a point for that move. Like, she is hardcore into gymnastics. So I'll be watching stuff like, I have no idea what just happened. Charisse, what like, help me out.
She did a triple double pike axel, some shit. I know that she got five skills named after her. There were 5 Bileses.
8.
When was this written?
They just said it that, right?
Yeah. How many skills are named after Simone Biles? 5.
How old is that article? Because last I checked, it was 8.
It was chat. Well, it was whatever the AI is on Google that did that.
A lot more than anybody else has.
There
Basically,
you go.
yes. That part.
She has some signature moves, but I think only 5 of them are named after her.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say because I thought it. Yeah. But yeah, just let's put it this way: the women's gymnastics team, the 5 that they're sending, apparently 2 of the 5 got there because 2 others did not perform well enough at when it mattered most. And I think one of them may have gotten injured during the U.S. trials.
Oh, that sucks for them.
So these are alternates that have moved into those spots, or
no? They won at trials. It's just at trials, 2 of the favorites to make the team did not make it. They did not make it through trials, either through
I think one young lady tore her ACL or something. It was bad.
Someone got hurt. Yes, I do remember someone getting hurt. So, because my friend Cerise had put a post out. This is your women's gymnastics team, and she talks about if this team doesn't look like what you expected, here's why. And she talks about the 2 members who made the team in place of 2 of the favorites who were not there.
If we got people on the ground in Paris, they need to film something, and then we should bring it into the show.
Yes.
I will see what I can do.
Just tell her, like, even if she just sends you something, if she just films something on her phone and sends it to you on Facebook Messenger, you can pull it into the show.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I will pick her brain and persuade her to do that.
All of that.
Just tell her Trip told her she has to do it.
I mean, Trip rules, so you know. But she says it's Archer now, so I mean. You know, his little brother is taking over. So,
okay.
But yeah, I would definitely try to get her on that to help us out. Because when we come back, the Olympics will be in the second week or done? Actually, no, the Olympics will be over when we come back in August, I believe.
Really?
I think. Wait, maybe, or they'll be in the second week.
July 26th to
August.
I don't know.
Something.
Okay. Well, we'll be recapping or talking about it either way. So.
Pretty much.
The Olympics are July 26th through August 11th.
So yeah, the Olympics just ended when we come back for our next show. So it'll still be fresh in our mind.
Yep. And then all the highlight reels will be out by then, and all the jokes. I'm here for the jokes.
The jokes will never end, whatever happens. Now, one of the biggest jokes going into the Olympics is that the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister of France and the Mayor of Paris each said that the Seine was safe to swim in, and that they were going to swim in the Seine to prove that it was safe. Now, Joy, I know why you're laughing. If anybody has watched John Oliver, you would have seen 2 segments he did in back-to-back weeks about athletes worried about the Seine River in France, where they plan to hold several water competitions.
Mm-hmm.
It is basically a biohazard.
Yeah.
And whatever they were supposed to be putting into the river to lower its bacterial infection rate is not working fast enough or at all.
Didn't most Norwegians say they were going to go piss in the river?
Yes, there was a website where it told you, because again, the prime minister of France and the mayor of Paris said they were going to swim in it to prove how safe it was, and they each put a date out in which they were going to do it. So people put up a website and said, since this is the date they're going to the Seine, if you're at this point on the Seine River, this is when you should take a dump or piss in the Seine, so that when they go to swim in it, it will hit them.
That's a whole new level of petty.
Oh my God.
That is like
Jesus.
Nationwide petty.
Find a hobby. Jesus.
Find a hobby.
My God. Oh, the library is
loving your life.
Like,
wow.
Qiana, do you know how much scientific know-how you had to put into calculating on what day you had to relieve yourself in the Seine so that it would hit the point in which the prime minister and the mayor were going to be in the river so that it came in contact with them?
I mean, it's not much. You just got to examine the laminar flow and look at the rate.
You can take that passion and energy and put that into something else.
Yeah, but I mean, for an engineer, I already figured it out. I was like, for engineers,
it's not that difficult a calculation to make.
Right. Huh? These people are using this science for good.
Yeah.
Because the people in Paris have said, forget the athletes. The people in Paris have said the Seine is basically a cesspool of just disgusting
dead bodies and rats and poop and blood and heroin and everything else.
Like, it's not safe. And they're
like swimming in the Hudson. Who does that? It's very, very parallel to the Hudson.
If not worse.
Right.
It's not like Galveston.
No. Galveston is just
not
oil.
Galveston. Oh my
oil
God.
And dead people. Like that's easy.
Wait, where is
Galveston again?
You want a syringe in your foot?
Well, yeah, that's
Galveston. Charles Barkley said they've got that dirty water. Is that Galveston?
Yes, that is Galveston.
Water looks like collard green juice. Like it's just brown.
Gumbo.
Yes, it looks like gumbo.
Gumbo.
Oh my God.
It's terrible.
You stick your pinky toe, baby toe in there, you will officially
it's not coming out.
be studied at the Center for Disease Control. And be like,
oh my God. Wow.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. The final thoughts from anyone and anything we didn't cover tonight. Joy.
Oh, I think I brought this up last year. So Tennessee State University is going to be the first HBCU with a hockey team. So this upcoming 2024-2025 is this first inaugural season. So they got
ice hockey, right?
Jerseys, everything in place. So they'll start this whatever the hockey season is. I'm not sure, but
winter sports. So like November, December is the start time.
Okay.
And Frozen 4 is in February-ish. Frozen 4.
Is that like the Sweet 16?
That is the basically hockey tournament for college. It's called the Frozen 4. So instead of Final Four like they do for basketball, it's the Frozen 4.
Cool. I'm sorry. As soon as I hear Frozen, I'll be thinking about Elsa and shit. And
works too.
That's because who I work for.
Right?
My bad. I'm so very sorry, but congratulations.
No, you're not.
I'm not. I love good old HBCU news.
So the date should have been June 23rd when they were to go take a dump in the Seine.
Okay.
We back to the shit chronicles.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I had to know. I had to know.
There was a whole website that said, it pointed out, all you had to do is put in your address, and it told you if you go to this point on the river and do your business on this date. The whole website was built around it. It's awesome.
That's disgusting.
People out there doing good work.
Mm-hmm. That's petty, though. That's so petty.
I mean, if the prime minister and the mayor are contending that it's safe to swim in, talking about they're going to swim in, and everyone's like, it's not safe to swim in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I get it.
I mean,
they better not get in that water. They're gonna come out smelling like all outdoors.
Good
play
luck.
around and find out. Now they say they won't get in there with a biohazard suit. I could believe that, but to say that they was actually going to swim in it to prove it's safe. So your funeral's the next day, right?
Right.
Or they'll look like the mutants from Futurama that lived in the sewers.
Yes, that is what they're gonna look like. All them fish got 3 eyes. Yep.
Or like, what's his name? Sterling K. Brown on Invincible, the 2nd season. They're gonna be fucked up. That's what they do.
You are a mess.
I know.
I love
But
you.
y'all love me anyway.
Oh my
Yes, I love you.
It's a safe space, I think.
Mhm. All the things I've said, clearly it is.
Joy, Furious, do either of you have any final thoughts or thing you want to mention before we get out of here?
No.
I'm good.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Qiana's nuts.
I am done. I'm done.
No, you're not. You're not done because 5 minutes after we log off, you go put something in the chat.
Oh, I got rough drafts and shit.
Oh my god. Rough.
You know me so well.
Oh guys, we thank y'all for tuning in this month. We will see you in August with more
Bye, everybody.
shenanigans. Say good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will. So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom, clapped back at the system. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.